Well then, or should I say good afternoon? So yeah, I'm a little late today. That's because I simply decided to be lazy. That's all. That is my entire excuse for today. I was lazy. It is currently like 20 minutes to 4 in the afternoon on a Sunday. Okay. But yeah, so anyway, good night. Hello, welcome to the Project Pal. My name is Gunnildur. I'm an Icelander, live in Iceland, and this is my podcast, vlog, chatty type of thing. Called the Project Pal because I have projects that are in piles. I talk mainly about knitting, about crocheting, about anything fiber related, about yarn, and about the weather. Because I'm your stereotypical middle-aged Icelander who always finds something interesting to talk about regarding the weather. Um, Actually, about the weather, we've had a minor heat wave this first week in January, meaning that all the lovely powdery snow that we had over the holidays has become slippery, thick sheets of ice. I think one of my neighbors is on his snowmobile. That's the sound. But yeah, other than that, interesting week. Got to say. Not really sure where I should start. So let's just start with the absolute funnest, the most not that, but the most I can't speak English. But the best news this week has been that I became a grand aunt yet again. Friday morning, my nephew's wife. Are they married? His partner, in the case. She had a little daughter. And when I say little, I mean little because the little one was in so much of a hurry. She decided to be born 2 months ahead of time. So yeah, my little grandniece was in a hurry and decided to enter this world and come see us 2 months ahead of time. Thankfully, our mother and daughter are doing well. Last I heard, they are in Reykjavik at one of the best hospital in the country, on the specialty unit, I believe. And as I said, last I heard, they're doing fine. They're doing well, and I really hope it stays that way. Really hoping that I get some news hopefully tomorrow, Monday, and that I'm just really happy. I'm not surprised that the little one is in a hurry. I mean, considering the families, but yeah, we weren't expecting her this early. Like I just realized that her mother was pregnant like week or so ago. Finally clicked for me that, oh yeah, she's pregnant. And the little one is out. It's like, you did not need to hurry that much. But yeah, so those are the really happy news this week. So my oldest brother is yet again a grandfather. Let's see, is it the 6th or 7th? I cannot remember. I think she's the 7th. Yeah, she's the 7th. She's the 3rd of her parents and 7th in line from her grandparents. It's like, ooh, big family. But yeah. As for knitting and crocheting, I did a little bit more than last week. I feel like I did manage to do a little bit more with the scarf. I think, yeah, from the green and up is what I have managed to do. So my autumn themed scarf will be ready for the next autumn, next fall. Oh, but like, it's so close. I only have this much left of the Sirdar jewel spun. So again, a very, very simple 2x2 ribbing in this gorgeous, gorgeous colorway, and I just love how it's turning out. Like I've said it before and I say it again, I am so happy that I felt sorry for that big skein of yarn that was like a mess, and I felt sorry for it because I'm that type of person. I felt sorry for a ball of yarn because it looked like a mess, and I was like, I want to take it home with me. Yeah. And as for the other one that I've been taking with me to Knit Nights for the now 2 weeks, I have gotten along a little bit with my with my making up as I go along. I think I've done like double. Like I'm literally only knitting on Knit Nights, so you know, it's not huge like differences last week. But I think I've like doubled it since last time. Like, look at how this fabric is turning out. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So this hopefully will be ready for next winter. What I need to do, and I was thinking I should probably do it today, you know, at least do something productive, is take the rest of the skeins and ball them up so that I have, you know, so it's ready to go for when this ball is done. Because this is the combination of 2 of those skeins, and I have no idea how much yarn I'm gonna need, but it's definitely gonna be more than those 4. So I need to ball those 2 up, and then probably, like, since I'm doing that, I'm probably gonna take the rest of the packet and ball those up too. But I also found the other 2, so I should have more than enough yarn to work with to make this make it up as I go cocoon cardigan. Which again is a really, really simple project to make. You literally either knit or crochet a rectangle and you sew up a little bit up the sides and you've got a cardigan. Really, really simple. I just realized I forgot to charge the battery as well, so where's my brain? Somewhere else, as usual. And I was actually thinking about that this year yarn, right, that I got from Hobby, one of the out of the surprise packs. Now I have found a pattern that I'm interested in. The problem is that pattern, because I got 4 of these cakes, balls, or skeins, or what you want to call them. I got 4 of these, but the pattern calls for 6. So if I want to make it as is, it's like a, well, it's not a vest, it's like a top. It's a very simple V-shaped top with, you know, halters and, you know, body. So what I'm thinking is that I have, well, first of all, I have no idea how, like, how long that top is. I'm wondering if I could actually make this like a crop top, so I wouldn't have to go back on Hobby and order more yarn, because because if I do that, I know myself. If I try to order just 2 skeins of this lovely yarn, what I'm going to be doing is think, well, I need to justify the shipping cost, and to justify the shipping cost, I'm gonna find more yarn. And I do not need more yarn to make more plans, to make my list of projects to make longer and longer and longer, because it's already been added to. because yes, I added to the project pile. Have I finished the project? No. So my little rule of thumb that I try to make for myself, where I'm not allowed to add to the pile unless I finish something, that's just out the window in the new year. So yeah, because like I told you, I went to midnight on Thursday, the first of the year. It was really, really lovely. There were 6 of us. It was just nice and relaxed, and just everyone was in this mood of being chatty, but not too chatty. Like there wasn't any gossiping, nothing of the sort. It was just nice and pleasant. And I simply got the affirmation that I am easily influenced by other people. Like ridiculous influence. I need to work on that. It is just impulsive. Like my friend said, that's a thing. Because she heartily recommends that I go and have a, how do you put it in English? Well, she got diagnosed, I think, last year with mild ADHD and what's the word? Incredible. What's it called in English? Mild autism, which is actually pretty common. And thing is, I've had the suspicion that I might be somewhere on the spectrum with both, and it would probably be a very adult smart thing to go and have it either affirmed or debunked, so that I can be, sure of how my brain actually works. Because I know that some days it's like a little tricky to deal with it. But she said that one of the things about ADHD is this impulsiveness, extreme impulsiveness, and honestly that would explain quite a few things. Like I'm trying not to stall, but at the same time, because I keep talking about how I don't need any more yarn, and then I go and buy more yarn. But like I said, I am so easily influenced. It's almost embarrassing if I was alone in it. But the thing is, they were all, like, everyone there is an experienced knitter, and they think all of them have made for themselves sweaters, jumpers, using Icelandic lopi called plöturlopi, or plaited, lightly spun Icelandic wool, and mohair. And with this combination, they have all of them have made themselves sweaters or jumpers that they all love and adore. And hearing them talk about their own garments, I want one of my own, but in order to get one, I have to make it. Like, I don't have to make it, but I kind of do. And because they were talking about it, I'm like, I don't need any more yarn. I don't need it. And the first thing I saw was a color combination that I just could not resist. And on top of that, the plates of the wool were that one color that I absolutely fell in love with at first sight. That's how bad it is. The plates, that stack of plates, was on top of a tall shelf in a corner. And I spotted it when I wasn't even looking. I mean, I tell a lie, I was kind of looking, but details. So, if you've never seen it, this is a plate of Icelandic wool. This is how, if you are to buy it, this is, I mean, usually we don't have like this in the middle. I'm a little concerned about it. Might have to, oh dear. I might have to have a chat with the store next week, because that's not supposed to be like that. But the thing about this type of wool, or how it is that it is very lightly spun, and what you get is a fairly fragile thread. It's stable, it's fairly fragile, meaning that it's really, really simple to, if you put too much stress on it, the threads are going to separate. But the magic is that you can recombine the ends by, with a little, like, wetting your fingers and then combining them. Like, you can comb them back together. And I'm pretty certain that's not very common with most wool. Most wool is, from what I gather, most common wool in other countries from other breeds of sheep are single threads, meaning that, you know, it's actually, I think those are fairly easier to work with than the Icelandic wool. Icelandic wool requires a certain knowledge, a certain expertise. But that means that, unlike the Icelandic wool, when you break normal wool, it's broken. You can't really, as far as I gather, you can't really combine it in the same way that Icelandic wool. And that's because Icelandic wool is actually combined by two types of thread: long thread and short thread. I remember what the names are. Anywho, yeah, so that's why you can recombine the plötulopi. Why that is, it's not that much of, it's not like huge deal. Like, if it breaks, you can recombine them. And but yeah, I need to go and talk with my seller, because the center should not be like this. Can you focus? Thank you. There should not be this mass of ends in the middle. So yeah, like with this one. But yeah, so I got this lovely color, and of course it's in the afternoon, in the winter afternoon that I show you. But it's this like a lovely darkish yellowy, and then I got the Drops Kid Silk in this like pale buttery yellow. So with these combined, I feel like these are gonna make such a lovely fabric. And the main reason, I mean, first off, they made me absolutely kind of like jealous. I was a little jelly listening to them talk about their sweaters that they have, and I realized, like, I mean, that's a challenge, having the lightly spun wool and the kid silk, because on top it's a silk mohair blend that I decided to combine because I love the color. But on top of that, the pattern that I picked out, because of course I went on my phone to check out patterns, because that's the last hurdle. If I wasn't able to find a pattern, obviously I wasn't going to like try and do this. And then I found a pattern, and I realized that I actually own that pattern in somewhere in here. But I do own that pattern, and it's this lovely cable type of pattern. So my challenge is gonna be threefold. It's gonna be the simply spun wool combined with silk mohair in a cable pattern. And I've never done cables. I've done fake cables with the hobby advent calendar last year. The hat that the only thing that I made from that year so far. One of this year's challenges, again, like, is to use up the yarn that I got from the advent calendars. both of last year and both of 2021 and 2022. I need to remember that, technically speaking, last week was last month. Last week was last year. Yeah. So I need to learn that. But yeah, this year's challenge is to continue to try and work on my project pile and try not to add more yarn. Like, it's fun to buy yarn, but it's also a lot of fun when you do manage to finish things and get things done off of your project pile. And I want to use the things that I have. I want to get the sweaters done, get the gloves done, get the hats and the scarves and the shawls and all those things done, because I want to use them. But yeah, that is my rambling on this weekend. A little later in the day, but I have no excuse. I was lazy. So, I mean, yeah, I did change the bed and I have done a little bit of laundry, but I still lazy day. Because I literally didn't get dressed until just now. So yeah, I think that's enough from me this weekend. The biggest news is that I became a grand aunt for the 7th time. To little Preemie, I cannot wait to see her when the time comes. So yeah, that is me this weekend. I will hopefully see you again next weekend with more fun news. I really, really hope so. And yeah, until then, take care, and I hope life is as good to you as it can possibly be. Hopefully a little bit better than that. And I will see you later. Okay, take care. Bless, bless.